Go ahead.
Hey, we're back with all three Davids, where we cover syntax, context, and contextual syntax. We're going to define a couple of simple words here and make it as complicated as we can. David, define freedom for
Very
us.
skilled at this. Freedom are my child slaves on one side and a heroin needle in my other.
Okay, David Oldham, what do you got for us?
Freedom is the ability to, or the right to not have to ask permission before you do something.
Okay, David, Van, what do you think?
As compared to
No, he already took that answer.
No, I'm just elaborating on it. I was talking to the Speaker of the House a few years ago, and I was trying to tell him, we need to make people free again to marry. And he said, well, they're free to marry. I said, no, you require them to get a license. He says, no, but I said, a license is to do that which would otherwise be illegal. He said, no, but I said, look, call it a certificate and we'll be done. He wouldn't do that. It didn't happen.
That answers your question.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Well, liberty and freedom literally are mean the same thing. They're synonyms. And we have numerous places that liberty is mentioned in our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence. It's a foundation of our system of government. And our government was actually designed and begun to secure or protect our liberties, our freedoms. The thing is, and we see this with medical marijuana, with drug use, alcohol use, and everything, that, or whatever the whether it's substance, the occupation you choose, that you have to go out and seek some bureaucrat's permission before you can actually begin work, before you can begin doing that which you have chosen to do. The act of asking permission first means that you are not free. You're actually a subject. No, we specifically said we're not going to have a sovereign, a king. So how come we have to ask permission?
I think maybe the argument is that the law is the sovereign, right? And so you're asking permission
The
of
law
the
is
law.
bondage. The law is the opposite of liberty.
Right, it's a sovereign.
Well, except that our law, the Constitution being the supreme portion of our law, says that rights belong to the people. They do not belong to government and the members of government and the bureaucracy and the legislature and the police.
But you have to think, either the Constitution has authorized what's going on now with infringements, or it's powerless to prevent them. So how useful of a document is it?
Well, that's a very good question. In fact, a lot of people are asking that question.
I don't believe that a government should even be looked at as something that secures our liberty. A government protects your liberty like a fox protects a hen house.
Well, that's
My contention a couple of years ago was that the government was designed to protect your property, and it was the citizen's responsibility to protect his own life.
Yes.
That is, the government can't be around to protect the person wherever they go, but you pay your taxes so that you can leave your property and know that the police will be there to protect your property.
I'm glad you brought that up, because actually at the time of our founding and before, when John Locke wrote his treatises on government and their extent, and then our founding principles was property meant your being, your thoughts, your personhood, as well as the goods that you acquired lawfully without theft. Okay, and so the thing is that property was the entirety of who you are. Sure, there's some things that government can't do to prevent certain things, murders, thefts, and things like that. They can't prevent it. But government is supposed to be there to make sure that you and I are not punished for holding a particular belief, a particular philosophy, a particular thought process.
Well, just to protect rights is the concept in a nutshell, and government should only wield force because it is force against those who infringe upon your rights.
Bottom line, there's strength in numbers. A group never crushes, an individual never crushes a group. The group always crushes the individual. Yeah. We don't need protection as a group. We need protections as an individual.
Well stated.
You cannot be kicked out of being an individual, but you can be kicked out of being a group. You think socialism is good because you think you're going to belong to a group, but you're not guaranteed to be in any group whatsoever. Hey, we're going to close it out for this section right now. We're going to come back with more exciting topics with all three Davids in 3D politics.